Hello and welcome, our viewers, into a new episode of your show, Timeless Journey. And as you know, our viewers, in every lovely episode, we would go through a special journey that will take us in many and different topics. For today, buckle up, we're going into a dietitian, a nutrition specialized with us, Hadeel Mutawa, and a clinical dietitian specialized in eating disorders. It is really important topic for today. We would go through with it, all of it in our podcast. She's going to tell us many informative informations and we're going to have fun with it. So, Hadeel Mutawa, welcome and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I actually really appreciate that, for you to be here with us, it is really important. But for first, we would love to talk about you more. Okay, let's talk about Hadeel. From where you got your degree first and like when exactly?
I studied in London 2018.
Yeah.
I took a foundation and a certificate clinical foundation, like a medicine
Yeah.
uh, foundation basics. And from there, I decided all my life I've suffered with obesity. All my life I've been struggling with weight loss. Why don't I directly major in nutrition? So I went from Queen Mary certificate clinical foundation studies
Yeah.
to human nutrition in London as well,
Inland, yeah.
and then mastered at University College London in eating disorder and clinical nutrition, which was more detailed on the
Yeah.
course and more like in undergrad. We got to learn like the chemical aspect, the biochemistry, the biological aspects.
More deep, like than the other dietitians, let's say.
Yeah, like how the body works.
Yeah.
In masters, we got to learn the behavior aspects, the how
In
the
regard of the diet, the behavior aspects.
everything in regard to eating disorder, diet, everything.
I'm really excited to go to some of the topics that we, let's say, going to cover in the future, and to mention to you the remarkable, let's say, how important it is the diet in general. But sure, you started in a special field, okay, in a specialty, but then you found yourself in another specialty that you found yourself way more in it. So you said to yourself, okay, Hadeel, I would go to that diet, to that specialized in eating disorder, to be a clinical dietitian, studying more in this behavior. So if I wanted to say, if you go back in time, would you go for the same path?
Yes, of course. And also in my special, like in my master's in UCL, I could have chosen between the obesity course and the eating disorder and clinical nutrition course. But I decided that the eating disorder and clinical nutrition course is if someone is suffering with obesity,
Yeah.
they're going to have some sort of disordered eating or some sort of issues that eating disorder course and clinical nutrition will cover it. So
Yeah.
I decided to not take the obesity path because obesity, of course, when you see a course called obesity at UCL, University College London, you'll be so pleased because um, I've been through obesity all my
Yeah.
life.
So you know the story. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I
exactly.
would be so pleased, but I didn't choose it because I know eating disorder and clinical nutrition is disordered eating is part of obesity, and clinical nutrition, if you have any nutritional issues, any nutritional deficiencies, all of that, there's a management for it which can lead to understanding more of obesity and what happens and why it happens and everything.
You know, while you're talking about that, you know what I realized? Here in Kuwait, we are the world, let's say, first in obesity. Okay, I mean, we are at the first place for the last statistics, and unfortunately, to hear that, that's really unfortunate, and it's really wrong. And also, how many restaurants we have here in Kuwait? I mean, we have whole areas only for restaurants. That's never happened in another place, and that's really bad to hear. Okay, and people thinks that that is the reason why we are the first in world obesity, but it's not. After you mentioned that, it's like a curtain in between my eyes that been lifted, and I can see the real reason.
It's
The clinic
disordered eating.
disordered eating, the clinical dietitian. We need more clinical dietitians. We hear about dietitians. How many clinics we have here as a dietitians? We have like hundreds. How many dietitians we have? Hundreds that and more that I've personally met. but you are the first clinical dietitian specialized in that. So unfortunately, so I need you to forgive me from now, because I would actually to ask you and to have you maybe for more than one episode. I need more information in regard your specialty exactly. So can you tell me what are the best ways to maintain balanced diet while on a busy schedule? Let's me عبد اللطيف العنزي. For example,
Yeah,
I have actually more than 3 shows, and at the same time, and I would love to go on a diet, but I can't. I would love to maintain it, but unfortunately, I have a busy schedule. Can you help me how to find the
of
right path for
course.
that?
I understand because for me, my day's also filled with a lot of things to do, and I don't even have the
Exactly.
time. So I get it. Eh, for the obesity
Yeah.
part and on my life, I've been through a lot of phases. There's the being busy. I experienced that
Yeah.
where I don't have time to do my food or someone prepare my food properly or explain to them.
Yeah.
Another part is going to university. I've been there, like going to university, changing my routine from living in Kuwait to living outside of Kuwait. I've been there. So all of these phases, I had to adapt to our eating habit. And it's you're the one who should adapt to your schedule, not allow your schedule adapt to you. Like
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
had a
Yeah.
busy schedule,
I was
like
at the second one. We was wrong. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
example now, I'm working, and also that is a new part of my life. So I need to adapt. I need I need to adapt to the schedule, not let the schedule adapt to me. So at first, you'll find it difficult to arrange your food and everything within your schedule, and you might not eat all day. Go home, have a big meal, and start binging, and that's part of disordered eating. Or you might go home, eat a big meal, but your body is gonna store it as fat because all day you've been starving, so your body needs that energy, and you'll hold it as fat and apparently sleep afterwards.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
then they say the what is it called sumo fighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the secret for them to like gain the fat they have.
Yeah. Please don't tell me that it's that the reason.
No, not that's not the reason, but it's part
Please.
of it. The second part, they
Okay.
eat and sleep.
They eat. Oh, really?
They should eat and sleep automatically because that's the only way your body is gonna store fat.
This is what I'm specialized at. I know a lot of people. I was actually an
That's what I'm
obese.
saying.
Yeah, during COVID, I was actually an obese. I was suffering from weight, and well, extra weight and extra weight. And unfortunately, uh, the reason behind that was actually when I gained the weight because we were on a lockdown. There was a curfew,
Yeah.
and I couldn't go anywhere. So the only thing that I could do, I was starving myself. Our viewers, and I know that a lot of people were doing the same mistake. I was starving myself for the whole day. Oh, it's a diet. And then I said to myself, okay, I need 2,000 calories. So I go and I eat 2,000 calories, like 1,500 calories in one meal. And then I say, okay, I'm a little bit tired. I think I should go sleep. And I was counting the calories in a wrong way.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I get fat. Okay.
So like
I d-
people choose what they want their calories to contain of. Like example, I know someone who doesn't eat all day and they do what you do, but they choose this meal to be a meal they love and that will not benefit them
yeah.
whatsoever. Like he will choose that the meal will be consistent of a junk food or a fast food
Yeah.
or all of that. And that client, it's more difficult to work with because that's a choice they choose to make every day since they were a child.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what they're used to. So they network their brain to not eat all day and just have one meal a day and it for it to be fast food. So with this person, you can't change their routine in one day. You have to gradually start increasing, increasing healthy foods,
Yeah.
increasing salads, changing their routine, not by one day. If you do it by one day, it's not going to be sustainable. They might do it for a few hours and then ruin the routine. They might stay consistent for a week even and then ruin the routine. So you have to do it slowly for the person to be able to participate
Take
in your
notes, our
changing.
viewers. Take notes. It is
Yeah.
really important. Gradually. Thank you, Hadeel, for that. You actually just gave us a shortcut for a lifetime of misery in regard that. I know people that I know them personally. I go to the gym every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And when I go there, I see a lot of people that I know personally, with my friends. We're a group. We go together. We train. Every two guys like train a certain muscle, back, chest, legs. And when they finish, guys, I didn't eat for the whole day. I didn't have my breakfast. I think my body is burning. Now I earned to go to have some French fries, pizzas, and burgers in one meal. I said, don't do that. I tried it. I couldn't lose weight. I actually gained fat, and because starvation, it was actually the. I mean, it's not the solution.
You should never ever quit any macronutrient or vitamin or mineral
Yeah.
from your diet. So people who do keto, okay, you can do it for a week, because a week, still your body has the energy, everything. More than a week, more than a month, everything, your body's gonna be starting for asking for carbs. Where's the carbs? Where's my food? Where's my all the macronutrients
They
you
think
need?
that carbs is the enemy. Well, it's not. It's
It's
actually the energy.
not. It's the energy. It's 45 to
Please tell them.
55. Yes. So I'm gonna tell you, and everyone's hearing.
Yeah, everyone is watching. Yeah.
Carbs is 45 to 55% of your calorie intake per day should come from carbs. And
Mm-hmm.
when you think it's not good, you should get complex carbs, like, for instance, fruits, dates, brown rice, quinoa, whole grain bread, sweet potatoes. All of this, there's a city in Italy, it's called Sardinia, and no, sorry, Okinawa in Japan.
Yeah.
And Sardinia, there's another story behind that about carbs.
Yeah.
But Okinawa in Japan, they eat purple sweet potatoes, and that city in Japan, they live for the longest years, like more than 100 for all generations, up until today.
Well, the reason is the type of carbs that they're eating.
They're eating complex carb.
Not going for the street restaurants here in Kuwait and Salmiya, and they go immediately, like eating the types of meal, that the name of the meals that we've never heard in our life.
I'm
Well,
gonna be realistic with all the restaurants we have here. Even I'm gonna have from the restaurants,
yeah,
but
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie
no,
also.
but let's say once a week or even once in 2 weeks, it won't hurt you. But having it every day, constantly, every day, not because of weight gain. Some people can have it every day, 3 times a day, and they won't gain weight. It's about what it's doing for your health. You're gonna get cholesterol. You're gonna get diabetes, type 2 diabetes. You're gonna get cardiovascular issues. You're gonna get high sodium. You're gonna get a lot of
A lot of things. I mean,
physical
you're
and
trying
mental.
to catch your breath while you're counting them.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of problems that can happen from eating from these restaurants. I mean, we're not against it. We're against from eating it every day.
But
Okay.
other than physical issues, you're gonna also get mental issues, because when you it causes like physical issues, like, let's say, the things I mentioned, but the mental issues you get is like depressed. You're gonna be depressed if you eat unhealthy always.
Yeah.
So other than the physical issues I was talking about that it causes, eating unhealthy every day causes mental issues like depression. The reason for that is because the gut-brain axis, when you eat dirty and you're not taking care of your gut, that sends signals to your brain and sends signals that I'm feeling depressed or I need more, and it starts relating food with dopamine release. So every time you don't eat that certain type of food, you're not gonna get that dopamine release, the food reward feeling, the food excitement feeling. So you're gonna want more and more and more, and it's gonna be like an addiction. So, and there's other reasons why, like example, if you don't eat clean and your gut is affected negatively and you don't have any of the healthy probiotics that you need, healthy bacteria that you need, it starts sending signals to your brain that I'm anxious.
Yeah.
And why are some certain people anxious, and they tell them to like check on their gut and check on their inner body, because
Yeah.
some of the anxiety people get these days is through gut issues.
Exactly. Uh, well, mashallah, clearly you have more than experience. Like, if people didn't see your face, they would think that you're over 50 years old, over 60 years old from the experience that you have, because you
Yeah.
actually described, you know, that you have such a, I mean, you have your own clinic, right? You
I
have
work at a
patients.
gym center. Yeah.
Okay, so you have your own patients and you have your own clients, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times you heard the word that I've been eating more calories? When I eat, I feel happy. When I don't eat, I don't feel happy. That's the same reason with the dopamine, the release.
Actually, I see like approximately 11 clients per day, and 5 of
MashaAllah.
them usually tell me that
Yeah.
when I like eat,
Yeah.
it makes me depressed afterwards.
M-
Afterwards.
Maybe from the cautious, like, okay, I was in a diet, now I eat. Like,
No, they actually don't feel good. Like when they stick on my diet, which is like basically healthy, balanced diet, no restrictions, foods that are good, yummy foods, cheeses, vegetables, carbs, anything you
can I be
want.
your patient?
Yeah, of course, you
Can
can
I go
come
to a
eat.
clinic? Can I
Yeah,
come?
of
But
course.
I love that. I don't like Abdul Latif only eat white rice and chicken breast.
No way, it's that. No way. There's like yummy salads. There's everyone knows
No,
the
no
salad
mashed
that's
potatoes.
mashed potatoes if you want, but no, like there's a balance. No milk, no butter with mashed
Yeah,
potato. So there's a balance. Always there's a balance. Like, I'll give you mashed potato, but I'll remove the unhealthy fats from it. So the point is, when they clean their gut, like when they do a healthy, balanced diet with me, they say I've never felt better. I sleep lightly. I wake up feeling productive. I do more in my day because when they eat unhealthy, they feel like laziness. They feel they're unproductive. They feel they just want to stay in
yeah.
bed and watch a show and eat. All of these behaviors. And I'm not saying only my clients do this. I used to do this when I was obese, when I was young.
I'm
I used
doing
to
it right now.
really? You
Yeah.
say you go to the gym and everything, so why do you do
I
this?
go to the gym, but I do it like 2 days a week, 1 day a week, sometimes 1 day, 10 days. But when I eat, like the example of what it says, like they eat the green and the gray, like the green and the stiff and everything. Like yeah, this is
Stiff and
actually what I do.
everything.
Yeah, because my work time is a little bit harsh on me. I work a lot. Sometimes I have much responsibilities. So, I have like this type of depression that's only been solved when I eat.
Oh,
Okay.
depression.
Yeah, like a certain, but from work,
I
some
know.
stress, if I could say.
So that's what I was telling you about. Like gut causes depression or anxiety, and anxiety and stress causes gut issues because
Okay.
other than that you're gonna eat more or not be uh, it affects your appetite.
Yeah.
Stress affects your appetite, affects your hormones, affects your cortisol levels, and all of this affects how you're gonna eat and what you're gonna eat. And when you eat it, it's gonna cause gut issues, which is then in return gonna cause more stress and more anxiety and more depression.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all a cycle. It's not like, oh, you eat dirty, it
So I've
affects you.
been damaging myself when I eat only 1 day a week. This is actually what happened to me. And sometimes 5 days a week, 3 days a week, I don't eat. But and then like there's no near healthy restaurants. So what I do is I go and then I got the damage. I go under the bus, and then you would see me eating a lot. So this is actually what happens to me. It affects even the hormone levels, the depression, and everything.
All the
I,
hormones.
I I actually didn't know that, but I need to stick to the questions before our producer Saleh gets really mad at me. Okay, what are the long-term health benefits of eating a well balanced diet?
The long term
Yeah,
benefits, everything. Like I basically said,
like what you mentioned in regard to Japan. I'm sorry to cut you off. Like when you mentioned in Japan, they live in city there. They live more than 100 years every
yeah,
generation.
everything. I can't explain it now. You get the maximum quality of life.
Yeah,
You get physical improvement, mental improvement, maximum quality of life, maximum social interactions, maximum everything. Because if you don't eat clean or you have any sort of eating disorder, uh, you'll get
everything,
everything,
like a whole package.
even social interactions will affect it.
Yeah.
But since we're talking more about eating disorders, I'm going to explain to you what type of eating disorder, for example,
Yes.
causes this
Yes.
issues. Example, if you some people have bulimia. Bulimia nervosa is where you binge and then you purge. And you purge afterwards. You need to use any types of laxatives or some sort of toilet or
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
get rid of the food they eat because they feel guilty afterwards.
Yeah.
And this avoids them from social interactions. This avoids them from going out. This avoids them eating with the family. This avoids them from eating in restaurants. This avoids them from overthinking over food because they're like, if I eat this now, where can I purge afterwards? What can I do afterwards? So it not only affects your physical and mental health, it affects your social interactions. It affects your thinking. It affects um, your thoughts and beliefs, and it it takes over you. You don't take over the behaviors, because when it lets your eating behavior
Yeah.
will control how you go through the day. Like it's the food noises, it's your thoughts that will take over how you can spend your day, how you can spend your life. So that's how you can decrease from your quality of life, which should be fixed.
Actually, when you know when you describe such a damage, that you say to yourself, how is that not an official crime? Because actually, like it is. I mean, such a huge damage that can happen from from a person, from such a decision. So what are the solutions? How can I fix if a person have some eating disorder? Like, how can we do that? I mean, I know nothing about that actually.
Through management. It's through management. It's step by step. It's knowing what's the triggers. It's knowing, like I say with my clients, I ask them, okay, you do this. What's the trigger? For example, one her trigger is when she's in her comfort zone,
Yeah,
she decides to binge, but then she feels guilty afterwards, so she purges, for example.
yeah,
That's the most basic example, but you get the most random stories from different people. Each one has their story. Like I have, when I was obese, I had my story. My story was like, my trigger was exams,
yeah.
and exams and stress would be my trigger. So I'd start restricting all day. After finishing studying, binge, and then I'm like, I'm feeling guilty. I'll do nothing about it. But next day, I'd wake up and restrict again and stress again at night, and the cycle was over and over. So there's
Manage your
a
sleep, maybe.
no,
Also,
no manage your sleep.
okay. I'm
There's
sorry to cut you off. You know, I cut you in the
no,
wrong
cut me off
way.
whenever you want, but it's not managing sleep. Sleep is part of it. It's a holistic approach. So when I deal with it, I
Yeah,
deal with the holistic approach, not just, oh, fix your food. Because if I come tell a person who has binge eating disorder, fix
yeah,
your food, how will they fix it if they have a binge eating disorder? The issue is not with what they're eating or their food or their calories. The issue is with their behavior and their binge eating disorder. So it's more than telling them fix your food. It's more than giving you a diet plan and telling you follow it if you want to lose weight. They might even have binge eating disorder with not wanting to lose weight. It might just be a behavior or a
a
disorder
habit.
they're
Yeah,
living with. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. How many of your clients have binge eating disorder?
That's confidential, but majority
Like many of them.
majority are female.
Majority are female. Yeah. I was eating like I was actually asking as like an statistic, because if we have like a huge number, we need to control that. Okay, if I come to you and I say, okay, Hadeel, I want to be your client. Okay, I have such a problem. Uh, okay, can you give me like uh, such a such an example? How can I comply to your let's say program? Because we know that with clinical dietitians, with dietitians in general, and you know, with the doctors, one of the most important thing is compliance, and we know that it is a little bit difficult here in Kuwait, compliance to food.
Yeah, so if you come in, I
Yeah.
can give you a plan, print it for you, tell you what's your goal, weight loss, okay, print you a plan and give it to you. I
Okay.
don't do that. I sit with a client, I speak to them before anything, especially in their first session. It's usually the longest session,
Yeah.
and they come weekly to me, but the first session is usually the longest.
Yeah.
And even in the follow ups in the upcoming sessions, we still manage to go over everything. How was the week? What did you do? In the first session, we discuss what's your issues with weight loss? What do you face? Uh, I give solutions to that, and then I give you your diet plan, which is the last thing. And it's a diet plan customized to you, not
Yeah.
specialized.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, when I try to have such, I need a dietitian. I need to click a dietitian. When you describe such a symptoms, okay, for the binge eating disorder, okay, is there any like other symptoms of it? Like maybe you can tell to our viewers, maybe they have it, they don't know. Like
There's a
some of
lot of
this,
symptoms.
like Hadeel, if I wanted to ask you about the types of binge eating disorder or the eating disorder, because for me personally, I know nothing about it. Okay, so I need to clarify it if like if there is many types of it or like only one type. Exactly.
So, of course, it's not only binge eating disorder. Why I said binge eating disorder, I focused on it because most females in Kuwait have it. I was one of them when I was a child.
Yeah.
So, it's a habit that happens because of fake myths that you believe in. Like, let's say someone believes in doing a restrictive egg diet one day. So,
Yeah.
they follow it, they get influenced, and then that's not sustainable. So, they'll start binging and they'll start. So, that's the most common eating disorder. But there's anorexia nervosa, there's bulimia nervosa, there's atypical anorexia, there's binge eating episodes, there's avoidant ARFID, which is avoidant restricted food intake disorder. There's an entire list of rumination, everything I could tell you, like
all of that.
yeah, and there's like textured eating, and there's the sixth sense, like a lot of eating disorder that doesn't finish, and each one has its own symptoms and its own
That sounds simple.
management and its own, and every person usually like misbelieve, like they think that this is their eating disorder, but actually they should follow the diagnostic criteria.
Yeah.
Every eating disorder has a diagnostic criteria created by the DSM-5, and
Okay.
from there you can know
And
which
about
eating
these,
disorder you know.
okay, and about these the disorders. I mean, you know about all of them. Like if there's a certain patients comes to you with the certain disorders, you know how to manage that. Mashallah. That's really remarkable. There is one of the questions. Unfortunately, for the lack of time for today, I don't think we'll be able. And I'm sorry, Saleh, for that. We won't be able to cover all of the questions. But you know, there is certain types of questions that we need to cover. As an expert, you are Hadeel Mutawa, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having.
There is actually important questions. Can you can you give us how the peoples with allergies and certain intolerance with certain types of food, how can they have a balanced diet with enjoyable food? Because sometimes with too much restrictions, they cannot have it.
A girl recently came to me, and she has not. She just recently found out that she has IBS, which means she needs a low FODMAP diet, which is like low fermentable oligosaccharide,
Yeah.
disaccharide, all of this. The list doesn't end. So she's like, I was like telling her what to avoid, what not to avoid. She was like, Hadeel, I love these foods. I'm like, okay, you love these foods. uh, don't completely cut it off.
Yeah.
Like for example, low FODMAP. It's not no FODMAP.
Yeah.
It's low FODMAP. So have it in moderation, because it's not an allergy that she might like pass out from it or that. So don't avoid your things from things that shouldn't be 100% completely avoidable. That's my
Yeah.
point. But
Exactly.
whoever has an allergy, it's usually some type of food category or just one type of food. So that shouldn't affect their quality of life much. Like let's say a nut allergy. It's fine. They can find now. There's a lot of alternatives where there's the same tastes
Yeah.
and a different food combination. So it can be made to suit them, to not make them allergic to it.
Hadeel, having you in our show, one of the most remarkable things. I'm really honored to have you. You have such a remarkable experience in regard of as a clinical dietitian specialized in eating disorders. Unfortunately, we won't be able to continue on our questions. Furthermore, we cover the time, and but for now, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being with us, and for your viewers, for more timeless journeys, for more journeys that will cover you the most recent topics and most trendy one. We would see you for the next time. So stay safe, our viewers, and goodbye for now.